something, and there'll just be an aroma, a smell,
Hmm.
and it'll instantly trigger a menu, like a memory from when you were a child,
Yeah,
right?
sensory
Like a
data.
smell can trigger a memory. Just a sound can trigger. You hear a song from back when you were a child, and the next thing you know, you're a child again. So those things are like definitely your imagination and your ability to attach things to it, like definitely correlated with memory for sure.
Hmm. And so that's they talk about early childhood development, fine motor skills, sensory extrasensory perception ability, and how your body coordination is developed really makes a difference in the type of cognitive function you have by your, like I say, your early adolescent and early adulthood. So people who are allow a lot of play, unrestricted access to imaginative things, they just tend to be more artistic. They have stronger recall, and they're able to conceptualize things at higher levels than people who are stuck in these rigid schedules with very restrictions on creative play. That's why they don't have art programs no more. That's why they don't have shop programs, because those things were unrestricted times of imaginative play for children in school. They take all that stuff out on purpose to dumb people down. So, like I said, it's by design that people are less intelligent because they just don't have the time, and it's not indoctrinated in school anymore for this unrestricted mental playground of recess, art, dance, music. All those things are gone.
Yep. Well, that's what it was. I believe it was John Rockefeller's the one that said he didn't want a nation of thinkers. He wanted a nation of workers. So we got him to thank for that.
We got it.
It's
I don't want to work
targeted.
no more either. So,
Yeah.
Good
But
evening.
I mean, come on, that's crazy though. It is insane. That's no excuse.
How
hi, how are
you all?
you?
Blessed and highly
I don't know.
favored. How
I'm
you
tough
all
on
holding?
people. How you doing,
Outstanding.
man?
Be blessed and highly favored.
For sure. We in here. We in here.
Yeah, we
As
in
soon as
here.
you came online, I felt that beat drop.
Yeah,
The
for sure.
energy.
Yeah, man.
I just felt the trap.
Man, I've been playing the piano all day.
Hmm.
It's been lovely. Like, I feel like Mozart.
Hmm.
And it's very peaceful. It's hard to be mad or angry when you're playing a piano. I do realize that. Like it would take a lot to stress me out when I'm playing the piano.
Hmm.
Today I
Something
spent the
about just
most
it.
time at the racetrack. I was at
Yeah,
the
see
Great
that
Lakes
too.
racetrack in Wisconsin today. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Doing a little bit of networking, shaking it up, seeing what was out there. First time at a racetrack, but I love cars, so fun experience.
Oh, first time?
First time. Yep.
Yeah,
I like
dude,
racing.
it's lovely. There's one like 5 minutes down the road. Love it. I go all the time. I used to actually race the bikes and stuff there, but it's been a while.
Real
Yeah, I
smooth.
like
Maybe I will
racetrack.
take the smoke.
I used to go to Talladega when I was in the Air Force. And I was stationed in Mississippi. I used to drive to Alabama. I like to do
Yeah.
donuts in cars, so I bought my Jeep specifically so I could take the top down and do donuts in it. So.
I love it. We went to at Bristol Speedway. Like I think it's once a year they turn the whole outside parking lot into a road course. You can run whatever car you want. It's so fun. One of the fastest, probably the fastest car I ever rode in was a Shelby GT that
Ooh,
a guy had there, and oh my god, it was so amazing. It was really fast. And I've had some really fast cars, but I that car was
I want to
killing.
get in
I love
a track. What's it called? A track hawk.
The
Oh
Jeep,
yeah,
yeah.
I
Grand
want to get in
Cherokee.
one. Yeah, I want to get in one of those so bad.
track car. Yep,
Yes,
I
man.
like them.
Yeah, I can't get into the new EV versions. You know what I'm saying? They actually said that they're
Yeah,
pulling the EV version of the Dodge Daytona, and that they're probably only dropped the six pack and the four door version. So like I think it was a V6 or inline six. I can't remember which, but it has a gas motor at least. But I'm
Okay.
just not a big fan of electric
right.
cars
Well, I don't know how
Dude,
they
I
put the
think it's
power
kind
in
of
it.
scary what I read about that whole Elon thing, bro.
with the power
It's
grid
crazy.
and everything.
Yeah, man. I mean, just think about it, man. You're letting one dude have way too much say, guys. I mean, come on. He's got control of space now. He's got the whole. Everybody's gonna be driving a Tesla before it's over. and now he got the power grid, and he has like pretty much like a government currency, like those like what? All
But
right,
don't
now
feel crazy at
at
all,
some point y'all
because
got to be like, all right, Elon, you're pretty cool, but come on, man,
yeah. Today,
enough
actually,
is
my
enough.
boy was we was in a car, and actually on the expressway, a Cybertruck. I was like, "Oh, there's a Cybertruck. You know, that's cool." He was like, "Get away from that thing, man. You know what that's doing."
Yeah, for real, back up.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, dude, you didn't watch that movie Civil War?
Captain,
Oh, you got it, bro. Yeah, like it was directed by the Obamas. They're full, like production company anyway.
no, I did not see it.
Oh my God, bro. What? You have got to keep up with the times, my friend.
Yeah, you said
No,
the Obama
it
production
blew my
company.
mind, bro, because I was like, this is for real. Like, I thought it was a joke. And I looked it up. It's like, no, it's theirs. Yeah, the Obama's definitely on the production company. And wait a minute, what was the first movie they put out? Oh shit, I can't remember. But it's insane, the first movie they put out. But then you watch Civil War, and you're like, holy shit. It's literally a movie about Civil War in America, but now, like right now. And there's fucking Teslas crashing into each other. And it's just insane.
It's called Civil
It's
War. I'll
insane.
type it down so I remember.
Yeah, they told you exactly how they would do it. Let's check it out. It's pretty interesting.
Huh.
Kind of hard to just watch a movie and be entertained nowadays.
It came out last year.
Yeah, man. It's insane. Blew my mind. I
Oh,
was
wow.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
Civil
it's
War 2020.
crazy. It's gonna tell you, it's gonna literally make you be like, what? Are you serious? They telling us, they're straight up telling you.
The director, Alex Garland. Let's see.
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
And
Wow.
it's
Okay.
actually, honestly though, they did a really good job with the movie though. It's pretty intense. Like it did have some good production value and shit, but
as a connoisseur, you got to look at the Rotten Tomatoes. You know what I'm saying? The Rotten Tomatoes says
man, I'm
decent.
telling you,
You know.
it's just the overall theme is like there's complete civil distress in America. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. The government's supposed to have been saved, come in and like fixed everything, and they hadn't. And it's just like complete anarchy. And the movie like follows a group of like war photographers that are actually like, you know what I'm saying, up close, like shooting and filming this shit. It's pretty intense,
Yeah,
but
looking
it's
into
crazy
it.
how it's insane how they tell you exactly how like a civil war could break out. And it was, yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty
insane.
dope. Last time I
It
had
blew my
something that kind
mind,
of hit
dude.
home like that was with the Black Mirror when they originally dropped it, because now the new Black Mirror episodes are kind of like about more mundane technologies and stuff like that, like what they would do to like review pictures of people that have like previously passed, how it could reconstruct like the database of the memory of that time, so you can kind of like have those details. But beforehand, it was one where it was like all they were in the military, right?
Oh, that was the best one of them.
Yeah, where the dude had the little chip and it was like, oh my God, it's the aliens. And I
And it
think
was actually overlay on their consciousness. Oh,
yeah. And it glitched out and it was showing
Like
the
for
sign. It was
real.
he was trying to take one out with a knife,
we
right?
seen that it was like genocide.
Yeah, it was actually a cover up for the genocide that they was doing, and they actually brainwashed him into like dehumanizing them. I was like, oh man, that's it right there. They
And it
just
was
said it
all
all right
chipped.
there.
It was all chipped. They had consent to a
Think about
military
that,
chip
man. That's like the
protocol.
Matrix 2.0 or something.
Yeah, chip.
Ah, oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're really just protecting you from how horrible shit really is. That's that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I think even that's like opposed opposition if you think about it, right? Because they're
Also,
really wanting you to think that that you're being brainwashed for your own good, right? So of course they're not going to make a movie telling you that actually once you break free from the Matrix, it's all fucking sunshine and roses, beautiful days, no rain.
actually, the way that Black Mirror episode ended, they actually because he was like, "Oh my God, what you guys are doing is wrong." They was like, "Okay," and they just like replayed his memories for him, but without the filter. You know what I'm saying? So everything that he did when he still believed it, you know what I'm saying?
He had a fracture.
Yeah.
Rupture, energetic fracture. You break someone's consciousness. Because now you see that
Yeah,
you actually
man.
put your
That's how
human.
you get it.
Yeah.
That's how you get them.
It
Yeah,
was
you take that out, it's kind of hard to fight back, ain't it? Don't even want to fight back when you break the consciousness.
mm-hmm.
That's scary. So, Miss Daphne,
Anti-neural.
I am definitely interested in what you got going on and how you can just help the people, man. So, if you want to just kind of give us some backstory um, on who you are, and we'll get this thing started, right?
Absolutely. So I'm Daphne. I go by Daphne Dopus. I am originally from Chicago, Illinois, and I'm currently staying in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Um, I got here because I fell in love with a country boy, and I came down. Um, my background is I was a child prodigy, and I had an interest in religion, spirituality from a very young age. I did my first sermon at 8 years old, but also had a very tumultuous childhood. My mother had a lot of mental health issues, and my family had some things going on in the background that were not common in most American households. And so I had this kind of training growing up that was severe. So I became a scientist very early on. I was getting tested. I created batteries. I did a bunch of things in Chicago. I went to Whitney Young. I went to Beasley Academic School, which are two gifted schools in the city. And these people started coming and examining me and testing me and teaching me things. And so I had some things happen in Chicago, got arrested, ended up going to juvenile and going to these different places, and it ended me up going to the military where that's where I really got into the occult science after I went to Iraq when I was 24 years old. An entity talked to me on the Euphrates River. My pastor condemned me for talking about it, and then the entity told me his business. I called the man back and he kicked me out of his church. So that started me down this long road of metaphysical study and becoming a practitioner of Kabbalah. And so as I studied Jewish mysticism, because I was Christian, so I wanted to know more about the Bible. I was hungry for more information. And so it led me to studying the Hebrew language, and then it led me to Inner Torah, which is what they call Kabbalah. And so I started to really fall in love with the Jewish mysticism practice, but I also became a metaphysician and a scientist at the same time. I started to study other human beings, including myself, for these gifts that we were manifesting. And so I've been over the last 15 years training, let's stop, assessing and identifying certain people. And then I read and digest what's going on with them, gain a comprehensive understanding, and I articulate back to them what I see, and I train them based on the findings that I found. I've done this over and over again over the course of my spiritual career. In the last 8 years, I went and gained initiation into an African diasporic religion called Palomayombe. And so I became a Palomayombe practitioner in hopes to connect and align more with my ancestral roots and to become more connected with the earth's intelligence and become an herbalist. So combined with my family's teachings, my Kabbalistic background, and then now my Afro diasporic training, now at 41 years old, I have gained a level of mastery over myself first, my own energy, and therefore I can help assist others to gain an understanding of themselves and their energy. And I do this over and over again in the community. I've not done this for any personal gain or any notoriety. I don't believe in being online and putting people's personal spiritual journeys out there. I really just been doing this for the heart of the community because I had these gifts and I was punished for it. So this is me being a divine mother and wanting to go to people who haven't been mothered properly through these gifts and finding younger people to prevent them from having fracture in their consciousness. So my my offering to the global community and my immediate community is my knowledge, my wisdom, and my love for humanity. And so I create medicines, alchemical formulations that help heal their central nervous system and their other body systems, also to help them to see, taste, feel more deeply so that they are able to connect with their own body intelligence and start to get clarity about what's actually going on with their lives. I offer spiritual guidance and coaching and mentorship to those who are aligned with spiritual paths. And those people, I assist them in identifying their selves. I developed a course recently called Sacred Bloom and Sacred Guard for Men, where I have developed a systematic understanding of the elements of the earth and how to relate it back to human understanding of themselves to create their own personal spiritual practice through alignment with knowing their own personal cycles and seasons through the elements of the earth's intelligence. So I'm a well-rounded spiritual practitioner who just loves other people and tries to prevent people from feeling alone or feeling like they're different or they don't have any where to turn. So I'm just a voice, just another person, and I pray that I can eventually scale my system up, train more spiritualists like me so that we can reach more people and more communities, and that the gifted start to become honored and held so that they can start to heal our communities.
For
That's
sure.
powerful.
For sure. And that's a
Thank
powerful
you.
background right there. Thank you for really breaking it down. You know what I'm saying? It's such a beautiful
Yeah.
detail. You know what I'm saying? From beginning,
It's
middle, and
beautiful.
end. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like people will be able to go back on this video even in the near future, but even after these things transpire, right after you start to scale, and be able to see exactly how genuine and authentic that is. You know what I'm saying? That's powerful. It's dope for real.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And that's also how someone's pain can turn into a lot of healing for everybody else. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Real spill. Real
Inspiring
spill.
too, right?
Well, you teach yourself right
That's
so you can teach others.
that's it. That's how easy it is. That's all we do.
It becomes a lifestyle.
It is a
Doesn't it?
lifestyle, you hear me?
It is. What a
It's a
beautiful
lifestyle.
lifestyle.
Real spill. Real
So
spill.
recently, my divine partner, my girl Crystal Flames, we recently launched a ministry called Celestial Springs Sanctuary, and I named
Mm,
it Celestial Springs so that we can be a living water to the people of God, to humanity. And then we have our alchemical fortress, Blue Magnolia Regenerative Apothecary, and I named it after my grandmother. Her last name is Blue, the actual color, and she was born in the state of Mississippi, so she's always gonna be my Blue Magnolia. So I do it to honor my ancestors. I do it for my family and for the children of my family, so that they can always look back and say, we can heal nations with our family's knowledge.
For sure. And we spoke briefly beforehand in another call about culture, right, and how it will inevitably affect that. But I wanted to ask you a little bit about your stance because of the mysticism aspect, right?
Mhm.
How is it that you've seen that transpire, like to play out in other people's lives, being able to introduce them or to show them that some of these topics they've already been written, that they exist, that they're not crazy, for example,
Mhm.
they're gifts rather.
So me and you had a conversation about polarity when we had a brief consultation about my services. And like I told you, I am the law of quantum polarity. I ride the wave. I have emotional intelligence. I have actual intelligence and I have body intelligence. So I know what I know. And so when I introduce myself to anyone else's energetic field, I read, I signal, and then I hold, and then I release. So there is not a human that I can touch that my presence alone won't change their field. I'm confident in that when I get into their presence.
love it.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
love that.
Yes, ma'am.
That's exactly how I feel. I'm like, I don't care. All I need to do is get in the room with somebody. That's it. It's all it takes. I just get in the vicinity to where my energy can affect yours, and it's a done deal.
Yeah. I have a saying, beauty as frequency, body as temple. My body is the temple of the Most High God. I use my beauty as a resonant harmonizer. So I work on my physical, mental, emotional fields so that it's so absolutely gorgeous inside and out that you have no choice but to surrender to my consciousness.
Real spill, real spill. And other people,
lot of
when they
people.
starting to come into it, like check yourself before you wreck yourself. A lot of people got a lot of ways to, you know what I'm saying, go about it. But it is a matter of knowing yourself, right? So having that confidence in yourself, it's built, you know what I'm saying? But it's also one of those things that you can reaffirm for yourself. Nobody else can make you confident, right? You can hear all of the
That's true.
things, but nothing can really reprogram you. So you got to make that decision. So I feel like a lot of people right now are starting to make that decision now, and I hope for a fact that they check out all of the services, all of the websites, and this time we'll go ahead and leave something in the description for y'all on YouTube. People been asking for
Yeah.
the script, so we go. You feel me, bull?
Well, because I'm a
Yeah, me too,
songwriter,
but
and so I wrote a song that's called Invade. So, and the hook of it is I'm coming to invade your consciousness. I'm an invasion. I'm an infection. I'm the spot between your ears. I'm the whisper from the wind. I'm the night and the day.
Real spill, real spill. I like that.
night and the day.
So when you're coming like that, you right? Like how often are you coming up against people that have like a defense barrier? If you feel me, like something that's naturally like trying to resist. Like,
You have one of the people you're aligned with. He came straight at me,
fair enough.
and I was able to show my authentic self and truly align because my energy is pure. I'm signaling straight from a clean field. I'm gonna start the day off with my green juice. I'm gonna end it with a kiss. I don't have anything to hide. I have empirical data. I do everything by the book. I do not I don't have any pride. I don't care to I don't have um the things that I think a lot of my peers have, which is they try to peacock instead of signal. I use my frequency, I use my vibration. So even if people are skeptical, I am love. I'm doing this from a love place.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if they don't understand. I don't have anything against people when they don't want to receive me because that means that you're not aligned with my message. But you will remember me and you will come back. You will come back. I'm confident you will. You'll get in a situation. People reject me all the time. I love to be rejected. Like you say, I love being misunderstood. Truly, it's my pleasure.
For
Because you
sure.
know why? I love myself first. So when someone's
Yeah.
misaligned with me, I'm excited when they leave my field.
Mm.
I'm
That's emotional
excited.
intelligence right there. That's a hard one to conquer too.
Real spill.
It's peaceful over here. We drinking
Yeah.
nervous system tea and we're doing Turkish honey. We're taking flower essences. I got a full Pilates studio right next to me. So if you don't want to talk to me, I can do a full 30-minute class. I can go do some boxing. I can go comb my hair. I play in makeup. I'm an esthetician also. So I love myself. I love my life. I'm excited to wake up every day. So
I know.
I'm not
Happy.
I'm
Yeah.
not peddling no wares, and I don't have no advertisements online. I'm not offering no readings. I ain't offering no spells. You chose to talk to me. If you're in my
Yeah.
field, so
I love that.
rejection for me, man, that's a celebration because that means I ain't
Blessing.
going through no drama.
For
Celebration.
That's what I want. Really, I really do. I just want seclusion to be left to me and
Self
my own
eliminate.
peace and tranquility. It's the
But
best thing on earth.
the natural vetting field right there. There we go.
I
It
will
is very
say
beautiful.
the same thing with love. I receive people, I come in peace and I leave in peace. So I want to make sure this message doesn't come off as arrogance or as condescension because it really isn't that.
Mm.
It's I love you, so I love you enough to let you go.
You know, that's a very good point, and that's something we probably need to talk about. That happens quite a bit with anyone who has, I guess most would look at it as like achieve success, but really it's people who have just accepted who they are and know their place in the universe. They come across as air or other people that aren't there consciously think they're arrogant, or they
Mhm.
take it as ego or pride. It's the exact opposite of all that. It's the complete collapse of the ego. That's why you're so confident, because you don't have the ego is what makes you doubt shit, right? The ego is, oh, I got to live up to these expectations so I fulfill this ego and this pride. That's bullshit, man. When you actually know yourself, you don't, none of that matters. So you are confident because I know me. I know my physical capabilities because I've pushed them to the limit. So I know
Mhm.
exactly where I can go before I give out, right? And it's
Mhm.
probably a lot farther than you can, you know. So
Yeah.
that's
And
a reason to be confident, right? It's not cockiness, it's not ego. It's just a reason to be confident in my ability physically. And
right.
I
Empirical
know the
data.
struggles and mental strife that I've been through and the shit that I can withstand there. So I'm confident that I can go there. You know what I'm saying? And I can be empathetic because I can feel others' pain. I feel it myself, like physically. So I know these things. I'm confident in those abilities. That's not arrogance. It's actually love, like she said. You know,
Absolutely.
because I could just say the hell with it and go do me.
Right.
I
All
know
day,
how to
every day.
fix me.
All day, every day. I mean, also being from Chicago, I think Chicago is a node in the field, right? As its own space and time. It is not, it's unlike any other city in the United States. First of all, I don't care what no one say, it's world class. World class city. Um, there is no room for weakness in that city.
Mm.
It's tribal, it's carnal, it's primordial. You cannot be unsure of yourself. You may not live. I'm 40 something years old. When I was a child in 1998, when I graduated from high school, it was a battlefield. And you had to be
Yeah,
able to walk, talk,
different.
think very differently as a child because your life depended on it every single day. And so I believe my lived experience of being a native Chicago resident, my military experience of 15 years of being a strategic war planner and a radar air traffic controller where I was controlling the skies, and then my combined just total um, spiritual journey where I just get curious every day. I become this creature. And on top of that, just to be very honest, I love the thoughts in my own head. They are dope as fuck. Like you think you like talking to me. I just
Yeah,
thinking
that's
I can
it.
sit for hours by myself. It just, man, this morning I was thinking about how could we create a delivery system to capitalize off our poor system to bring in more ether. And I just
Mm.
sat with it. And I'm like, okay, I know we have, because I'm an esthetician, I know we have our epidermis. If I come up with a meditation system to get them to understand how to um, identify this energy and start to feel it coming through their pores, like actually identify with the sensation. Like I said, that right there is fascinating. I can sit there and just write all day. Like I'm sure my
Mm.
husband is sick of me.
So I bet that we could make like a body butter that could open the pores
Mhm.
and receive frequency more. I guarantee there's some roots and plants and flowers out there
I
that would
pondered
definitely
it.
increase sensitivity
Mm.
in the pores and in the skin. I know it.
And
So
you
we
could
could
probably
definitely do
use it
that. My
like
sister
shea
already
butter.
makes the body butters herself and everything, like lip balms and all that. It's perfect.
Mhm.
And
And then the
I was
music.
been told for the shea butters, like models would tell me like to decompress and to relax, they would use them on the bottom of their feet. I was like, so how's a shea butter? They're like, it's great on my feet. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, well, because it has some of the natural succulents. I would use like aloe vera and some other things like that to pull chemicals out, kind of like they would give you on those pads. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you have something
In the
that's
South, they use
natural for you to build
potatoes.
ether, and you
You
go
know what I'm
out and you
saying?
do
Down here,
something
we
else,
use potato.
you know, if you take the
Let's cut a
next step
potato,
with
put
it
it in a
too,
sock, go to sleep. Sucks all of that.
So you see what I'm
It's pretty
saying?
crazy.
Like I don't have time. Like that thought and you can you talk to Crystal, every divine thought that I receive, I walk down the aisle with it. I marry it. I get in relationship with my
Yeah.
thoughts.
So what's your system like to deploy them?
Um
Mm.
can you give me more context?
For sure. Like if you're looking to put a new idea out, right? Do
Mhm.
you use something that's already like a template, right? To
Mhm.
build upon the idea or to produce it, or is each one its own thing from scratch?
So I honor my force and my flow. I'm very dualistic. So it depends on its origin and its nature. If it's something for an emergency situation or a crisis for someone, because I get calls from people with all kinds of situations, then I will address it in a more urgent manner. And I might not walk down, I might just have a one night stand with that thought.
I follow you. I follow you.
I like
But
the way she put that. Yeah,
if,
that
if
might
it,
just be a one and done. I
yeah,
got
you
you.
know, I might have a fling with that thought, right? But I'll annotate it because I do annotate everything scientifically. But then some thoughts, like the one I had this morning, and it was during my meditation, my breathwork sequence, because I do have a full protocol for a spiritual protocol that combines a lot of different systems called Crown Keeper. So I was doing my ritual meditation this morning, and I had it come to my awareness the ether around my legs because I was moving my energetic field because of the shellac I had taken that morning. And so I can sit with some thoughts, and then like I said, we can get into a relationship, court each other, right? Because my thoughts, we bounce off each other. It's not just I don't think in a linear way. I'm very multidimensional, so I can access the fractal of my consciousness, my architect, my artist, my mother, my maiden, my lover. I can access all those parts of myself to give me all the divine intelligence I need in order to come up to a conclusion. And then that's when the marriage happens. That's when I decide to commit to that idea. And then I do have a protocol a funnel that I run all my ideas through in order to test their validity first.
I see what you're saying. Real spill.
Yeah.
To keep it empirical as
That's
well.
exactly how I do it. Like,
Yeah.
like I, you know me, like it's depending on the situation. That's what we gonna get. Like, cause I'm gonna react on spot right then, depending on the energy I feel, and I'm definitely gonna go with the energy every time over. It, like, man, my spirit and my energy is so strong. Every time I try to go against it, it just whoops my ass.
We had
So
a
I'm
great
just not doing
conversation one night, and it was like, hey, and we told this story on another live. We had a great
it.
conversation one night. We was like, hey, look, we're gonna do this on the internet. He's like, all right, great. I'm gonna start a podcast. We're gonna start a couple podcasts. We're gonna do all of them, and it kind of just spiraled.
And then here we are a week later with four of
Yeah,
them.
Right.
yeah, based off of what we could
Hey,
do.
I'm telling you, if you really just stop trying to control the situation so much and let that spirit guide, bro, it is not gonna steer you wrong. It
Oh yeah.
won't.
That's what happens with me and Crystal the other day. We came up with a podcast. It's called A Signal and a Spell. And it's just a metaphysical
Oh,
conversation.
I love the name.
Yeah. And so because we are the signal and we are decoding the
You do.
spell work in the language of all the different things around us, the symbolism, the actual language,
Yes.
the interactions, the fakery, the different what do you call it? I think people putting on plays for you, right? The musicals that
That's
we
what
see
they
around
are.
us.
I see what you're saying for sure.
But they are. Think about it. Okay, that the TVs are, they're televisions, right? They're called channels,
Mhm.
and they broadcast. Like
Signal.
there's a reason why they call it that.
Mhm.
Well,
There's reasons. And if you
there
actually
are
trace the etymology of a lot of these words back, you would be absolutely just
yeah.
mind
How
blown
did
at
you
what
feel
they
about
actually
reading
mean.
the Bible
Like
with
if
the
you knew
Hebrew
white was
translation?
black and black was actually white, and that,
Yeah.
black used to actually mean pale of skin. It's just ridiculous, like the English language and all
The
the
English
fuckery that
language
goes
is
on there.
one, but how was the Hebrew version of the Bible once you went back to look at it?
Right.
You seen consistencies?
That's a big thing too.
So I am also a published
But
author. So
Phoenician,
I wrote a book about this actually. It's called a Bible Decoded, the metaphysical look at the Bible. So I believe the Hebrew language to be a living language, and it's not living just because it's resonant in its way of delivery, but it has archetype, it has gymetria, it has frequency, and it has energetic weight to each letter. And so if you understand the cipher of Hebrew, then you realize that when you read in the language from the right to left, you start to see that those letters have more than just what they seem on the surface. They have full unfolding that can happen through their frequency resonance. So I believe Hebrew to be a quantum modulation language because as I began to learn the letters, it began to modulate my field naturally. And for me, deconstructing and trying to gain understanding on why studying this language was starting to change my life. That's what I mean by was modulating my field. It was changing things around in reality. that's what led me to become a Kabbalist, because I was like, wait, my reality changing as I keep speaking these letters over and over again. What's happening to me? So I began to study. So Hebrew was the gateway to my personal Christ consciousness. It's construction as a Semitic language. Its use for centuries before Abraham even cat on the scene.
Exactly.
It's definitely older than almost every single living thing. It's Sumerian in nature. And if you look at the glyphs, when you go down to Ethiopia and compare the Ge'ez to the Hebrew, you start to see all these different things in the Semitic languages, that all these different encoded, these languages with these encoded glyphs, as opposed to these form letters. One is flat, one is resonant. So the resonance of the Hebrew language, it captured me.
Real spill. I see what you're saying. And then relating that back to the Grand Orchestra, because I've noticed also, and that was another conversation we had today, it was a lot of traffic, right? So we were just going through, and it was like, everything's still Greek, right? And my homie was talking about how all of the athletes, right? These are people that were supposed to be guardians, or he assigned them a role based off of the things in the energetic fields from the past as well. And I was like, so what's the weight to it? You know what I'm saying? He was like, well, look not only at the history, but the fact that we are the Aboriginals, right? Like, look at the land, look at the just math of if everybody was to be brought over here from Africa, for example, right? Not only the time that it really took to cross, but the amount of food it would have taken and the amount of sickness, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention the journey inland, right? A lot of the things that were said and that were broadcast, for example, during that time were a way to kind of like disconnect us a bit from history. You see what I'm saying?
Because it doesn't hold what? Weight. It doesn't resonate in your field once you actually listen to the words that are being spoken. If they're, see, the sleight of hand that happens throughout history is to say things fast and slow 3 times. So you tell somebody the same story a different way in a different methodology over and over again, so you can produce false weights. That's why they use the 3-3-3 method in speaking. But some languages, you say it one time and it holds its energetic weight. Its resonance retains in its first utterance. Hebrew. English, you have to add weight to emphasize, because it's a flat language, it's dead. So they had to keep repeating ritually these, we hold these truths to be self-evident. How? Where's the evidence? Where's the weight? There is none. So you have to keep repeating. So whenever you see in language the need to have a repetitious cycle in it, is telling you that it's flat, it has no weight. So you have to keep reiterating in the consciousness for it to take hold and anchor, to give it a false weight, false authority.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So being the fact that we speak a broken English, it's broken language, but it was referred to as like Proto-Germanic.
Mhm.
Right? That also kind of traces back some of the ritualistic sides of language naturally, right? So a lot of people kind of have some abrasion when it comes to, for example, reading spiritual readings or tarot. How is it that you learn to utilize that for your own field vibration? A lot of people look for like the outer,
Mhm.
right? Outer gratification from the universe. How did you learn to utilize those tools for yourself?
So I designed my own system based on my own resonant field. So I am from Chicago, right? We shoot dice. So I started to see the patterns in the dice as probability states. So I made a cipher of the probability states that you could have in a human experience. Then I added 4 colored dice to represent overarching archetype energy. And as I throw them in my field, I assess the probability states that appear from my energetic field through 3 throws to help to give weight to my probability states. So I have a greater intelligence than most human beings. So I can see mundane, small things becoming anything to divine. I can divine out of a spoon of sugar. I can divine in my mother's eyes. I can divine in a pool of water. So I just put them into a medium that allowed me to guess probability states over time. And I just empirically kept gathering the data until I got to 90% or higher with my resonance. And then I added terror. because then now I'm using that to clarify the probability states that I have discovered within my unified field.
I follow you. I see what you're saying.
That's
Based
a
off of the
really
archetypes, because if people don't know, tarot cards are actually just archetypes for the most part. So
Mhm.
all of fear and abrasion, chill out, y'all. Research.
that's really a very educated way of saying what I told you, Josh, about how I just think of every possibility and you know
I
and
just
then
put it
make
into a
sure that
thing.
that possibility turns out in my favor.
That's it. Probability states. That's all.
Yeah. I
A
know
beautiful
this could
thing.
go this way, but I'm gonna make it not.
Real spill. Real
I think
spill.
that's it.
So with the resonance, we're big on fitness over here. So we got a whole lot of, you know what I'm saying, videos and things of the sort going forth. I noticed
Get
you said you
started,
had
don't
the other room on the side.
Mhm.
Is fitness a huge part of kind of like maintaining your field, or how much of fitness is a part of building your mindset in this point of state or point of life rather?
It's all I do. I'm every day, all day. If you don't have a fit body, you don't have a fit mind. So there is no separation between us and God. There's no separation between our body systems. There is no separation between our intelligence, our physical fitness, and our neurological system cannot function without healthy body states. Period. I
you?
try to maintain a 27-inch waist. I try to maintain a body mass that's concordant to my weight, height, and my age. Like I said, I spent 15 years in the military. So fitness, there is no life. There is no fitness routine. It's my life.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
that's all. It is
Feel
a
great.
lifestyle.
Yeah, it's my life. I've been doing it since I was 19 years old. So um, I get up, I have a 15-pound kettlebell, I walk for 1 hour with it. After my
Love them
kettlebell
kettlebells.
walk, then I do a Pilates circuit, or I might do a stair climber for my body weight. Then I do 100 squats. Then I do 100 kettlebell swings to keep my core strong. I train for military fitness because we are at war. Our consciousness is being bombarded, and at any time I may need to be activated into a war state. So I maintain military fitness so that I'm ready. I hate to say it, but I'm a shooter, and shooters got to have strong arms. Shooters got to have strong cores, so I hit my target every time.
Real spill. Real
That's what
spill.
I told you. I didn't I tell you. I said I gotta be a weapon. I'm not trying to look pretty.
Real
For me,
spill.
I'm beyond. No,
No,
I
I'm trying to
am
look
somewhere
pretty.
pretty.
I'm not gonna lie. I do
I
like
am. I gotta be that, but I'm also
I
a
do like
human
yeah, I
being.
do like aesthetically
Yeah,
pleasing.
I say I'm a
It's
woman,
nice
so
too. Yeah,
beauty is
got
a currency as a woman. So I have to. That's something that's part of my weaponry.
ooh, that is true. No, good point. Yeah.
So
That's real.
But that's what remember I said the worst thing that you could like the hardest life that I could imagine is ugly, broke, and stupid. Right? If all three of those, whew, not to say you can't make it, because anybody can make it out, but that would be a rough one.
it is. But
You'd
as
be
a woman,
definitely starting out at a deficit.
as a woman, you can
Oh
be
wow.
you
As
can
a
be
woman
you can
too,
be
that would be
unintelligent. You can be unintelligent if you're beautiful. You can be
yeah,
broke.
exactly.
You can be broke if you're beautiful.
That's
You can't
true.
be if you're ugly as a woman. You can't be none of those things. You got to be the best.
Hmm.
Got to be the
Damn,
exception.
that's yeah, that's an even that's
Yeah.
very true.
I'm not the and I
Yeah,
definitely
because
not.
even a
I'm not
dude, like you
vain.
can still just take care of yourself. Or
Right.
just,
I'm not. I'm not vain. I'm in my 40s, so I look like I'm in my 40s. You know, I'm not tripping about that, but I take care of myself at the highest. Right. Make sure my hair is groomed. Make sure I like to dress up. I'm very, very artistic. So I like to look like living art.
I
dude,
see
that's
what you're
fine.
saying. I see what you're saying.
It's like the if you think about it, isn't that like the highest or the most intimate expression of yourself is through like the way you look, right? Like I
You
don't
can't.
know about like I feel better. I have more confidence and I have more capabilities. Like I feel like when I'm just look good, when I shave, for instance, when I like groom myself, like I just feel like I really be feeling like Samson or whatever. Like when my hair is all like nice and my beard's
Mhm.
fucking all man, I feel like I'm like more powerful, like I'm some kind of Greek god or something, bro. It does. I be feeling the fuck out of myself with a fresh shave and a nice fit on. Oh, it's time to do some amazing shit. I'm gonna help some people today.
Right.
Whole
So,
lot of them.
like I said, as a girl, they have songs like hair did, nails did, everything did. Like all those things as a woman, if I walk into a space and I look like I don't care about my physical fitness, I don't care about my appearance and my adornment as a woman, no one is listening to anything I have to say. Period. Full stop.
That is true.
Fair enough.
They
That is
don't
true.
believe me. They don't care how smart I am. I'm like, hey, I'm smart. Like, listen to me. No, I had so at one point before I had got sick, I lost my uterus and I gained 60 pounds. I was when I first moved to Tennessee, I was 200 pounds. I'm 137 right now. I was invisible.
Hmm.
I was invisible. I was working for Facebook and I kept getting into issues with the people that I was working with. I was a contractor for this analytics company I was working for. As soon as I dropped the weight, I got 7 opportunities to work as an analyst immediately with no qualification. They didn't even have my resume. So it doesn't have to be fair. And I think people got to stop. They got to stop putting their fantasy into reality. Life is not fair, but the rules are already there. You can't reinvent the wheel. You reinvent the reality by changing your behavior and signaling to other people. But right now, the field says beauty is frequency, body is temple. Beauty is a frequency harmonizer. A beautiful woman with a nice shape, a nice face, clear skin, nice hair, walks into a room and starts talking about any given subject. What do you see? You know what I'm saying? I said, I just taking care of ourselves at the highest is so energetically aligned for me as a feminine body vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, I when I teach women, because I have a protocol on my site called the Sophia Alchemy Beauty Protocol, and it's not about like we have so many women that are doing plastic surgeries. We have women that are augmenting themselves to try to flip the game for themselves, right?
Right.
Our people are trying almost killing themselves for this when they can just align with energy, eat well, do their skincare, do this, do all these different ritual steps, and they can avoid all this fragmentation and having to self-mutilate.
And there's deeper shit behind that too that they don't understand.
For sure. I see what you're saying. But that's one thing, like as guys, we really kind of don't think about it. It's kind of like, all right, roughhousing becomes a thing when we're really young. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, all right, let's see if you're stronger than me. Let's do some arm wrestling, football, contact sports, right? So fitness is just one of those things where like you're always gonna have that friendly competition or like, hey, let's see if I can do 160 pounds. Let's see if I can do some shadow boxing. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if I can do some running. And usually when you get to the point where that testosterone drops, you feel me? You also see the dudes kind of like become more feminine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that personality trait is something that we see, and it's like, all right, you just need to work out, bro. You just need to go for a run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We never really think about it as a currency or how it holds weight. You know what I'm saying? In the eyes of other people.
It ain't the same for, like I said, being a 40-something-year-old woman. Like that, that's not my experience, not my lived experience. My lived experience is after 19 years old, if you don't look a certain way, the door is closed unless you are the best. And even if you are the best, sometimes it's still closed.
Because
Door is closed.
That's crazy, isn't it?
That is.
But it is a reality. And the facts are that an attractive person is going to have a much easier time in life, right? An intelligent person is going to have a much easier time in life too.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I said that's why that's why I try to be well-rounded. I have both.
And if you can knock them all out and you got a sense of humor, oh my God, bro, I'm winning every time.
Right.
Put me in the game, coach. I swear to God, we win it.
Right.
Like that's all it takes. A sense of humor, some confidence, feel good about yourself, look good, and some positivity and good intention, bro. You can't lose.
For sure.
Even when you lose, you're gonna learn something and win the next time. So yeah.
Is there a level to the intelligence though that you can build upon. I really feel like there's no cap. I feel like somebody can gain skills to become more intelligent.
Yeah, I don't think there is like a limitation, really,
Death,
honestly, except the one you put on yourself.
just death.
Yeah,
Like your life.
and
should never
really,
be
that's
given.
honestly that's even a level up.
Right.
So, I'm winning. Either way, we win. Hell with it.
But I think we have to start to frame intelligence in the way it is, which is multidimensional. You can have emotional
Yes,
intelligence, you can have artistic intelligence, you can have actual intelligence, cognitive ability, you can have high logical reasoning function, and those are all nodes of intelligence. So I think we have to expand our view of intelligence so that we can start to honor the intelligence of all, because almost all life forms have some form of high intelligence. It's just in their own way.
exactly.
Hmm.
I always think it's crazy that human beings will try to like rate the intelligence of a cat or of a dog, and it's like, so you're gonna tell me that you're gonna tell that that dog is the equivalent to like an idiot, but it can smell cancer. You can't smell cancer, so you must be a really stupid idiot then. Like, like this is crazy. You don't know what these dogs know because you can't communicate on a level with them. Now, if you would take the time to meditate and get like, you would be able to walk up to squirrels and they wouldn't run away. I know this to be fact because I've got 3 of them that don't, and they might be government agents, is what Hickman told me. But no, it is crazy because I was thinking, wow. I've never seen like anybody this close to a squirrel. Like usually they'll run away, and they don't. They just chill and talk. Like I'll talk to them and everything. It's pretty crazy, pretty nice.
Got a good energy field.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And like the bees and everything. Like I used to get like when I be a kid or something, like, oh, bunch of bees, get out of the way. No, I literally just talk. They flying by. I'm like, what's up, man? Feel the energy. I had a whole conversation with a rattlesnake at the zoo because I felt bad for it because he was a pretty snake, but he was all curled up in the back. And I was just like, damn, it was like, sucks they got you locked up in the cage like that. And he came out and like talked to me and everything. Pretty cool.
Spill. Real spill.
Animals, they'll tell you shit if you pay attention. So will nature. So will your children.
I did a little study on octopus, octopi. I
I
got
love them.
curious for a
Favorite
few months.
animal ever.
Yeah, it was a little rabbit hole. I was like, man, it's too deep for me. It's very tragic. But the short lifespan and just the amount of intelligence that they have, and then just the natural motherhood and fatherhood, the instinct of nature to show how good of an example it can be, and still the percentages be so low for survival. Like not too many of those kids make it, and it's just like, wow. When I think about like, all right, intelligence and survival, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll have a better shot for sure. But if anything, if the odds are 0 and you got 0.1 just by being smart, I think win is a win. You feel me? You got to chop it up as more than being in the game. Because think about all of the other creatures that are out here. You feel me? On this planet, and especially for humans being like the main cause for a lot of the stuff that's going on for other intelligent life forms, right? Like, yeah, we can make a little change if we change ourselves. Chris was talking to me the other night about he's like, how smart do you think dolphins are? I was like, don't do this. I ended up researching that a few months, man.
They're extremely smart. I'll tell you that's how. You know that they're like that. I can't remember. I don't know if it's everywhere, but I do know that there are certain states that has made it illegal for you to talk to dolphins. Can't be over there trying to talk to these dolphins, man.
Yeah, they say they can talk to us. Well, they say that they're starting to communicate with humans.
Yeah, I think that's crazy that they used to do birthing with the dolphins and stuff, and the dolphins would communicate with the babies inside of the mother's bellies and everything. And yeah, they do all, you know what I'm saying? And they stopped that shit. It was like, oh hell no, you can't be getting in with these dolphins. And
I have a theory. I have a theory about male intuition and how it's similar to dolphin intelligence. So I believe male intuition is like sonar for the field. And so females receive downloads with their intuition where we get it through body intelligence, or a lot of times in our mind, it'll just arise in our consciousness. But men are more, they they're more attuned to the actual physical reality, the field. And so that warrior hunter archetype, I believe it's like a human type of sonar where it bounces a signal out there
I
and
can
brings it
see
back.
that.
And so
That
I
oh
really
wow.
would like to see that studied one day, studying male intuition, that gut feeling, and is it actually a type of human sonar that we haven't thought about in that way yet?
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
know
you know,
for
I actually
sure.
consider that to be like a sixth sense. I chop it up to be
It
a
is.
sixth
It's a
sense,
spotted
yeah,
sense
because
for
I
real.
definitely know what you're talking about, and intuitively when you're saying this.
Well, I mean, like I said,
Yeah,
because like I
yeah,
said,
that's it. That's
I
the
can get
spider
into
sense for real.
different states, and so I can access my fractals across time and space. So I've accessed certain parts of my consciousness that have experienced male lives, and so through that experience, and I get into ritual states, and I won't go too deep into the methodologies and the substances I've had to take, but I will say I've experienced certain sensations, and it was like, this is like sonar. Like I came out the meditative state, like, whoa, like men can feel like this. Because as a woman, you don't get that experience. You get a different type of intuition. It comes in, it's like a more of a sacral function, and it comes right, it drops right into your center. But this male intelligence, it was like it pinged off of things, and you could feel like from other men came in the room in my when I was sitting in this state, and it was like you could feel it instantly at your skin zone, and I felt it down in my root chakra. It's tied to that root chakra energy. Very interesting.
It's very
No,
absolutely true. I
you know,
will. I'll get
I'm actually
this chill
curious
up
on
the
this.
spine, the hairs on the back of the neck will stand up, and I would just my whole body will go in a sense of alert. And I can't like specifically pinpoint what it is, but I will know like within my everything that I am that something is about to happen, and it's going to be
Yeah.
something that needs like direct attention, like and fast reaction, and I'll just know it, and so my whole body will be just every like pore, every hair follicle will just be like on alert, almost like a dog with their ears and their tail up, and they're looking at me like I don't see shit, but this dog is like fucking ready to attack. That's how I feel, and then sure enough, some shit'll pop off. It's every time. So I just now when I get that feeling, I'm like looking at everything. I'm paying attention to everything, and I'm definitely using some sonar echo abilities. I wish I had night vision like a cat because I'd use that shit.
uh whatchamacallit, the semen retention, right? And how it's tied to the root chakra, and also how one of the things that it is supposed to do is give you like more clarity, right? It's supposed to do like how should I say, not only is it supposed to bring you more clarity, but it's also supposed to be a centering of your awareness, right? So you're supposed to use it as like a meditative thing for you to enter into a state where you can start to say, okay, this is what I'm paying off of, and start to reassess the probability. Because like when you're really when you're drained, let's say that, right? You're in a fight or flight mode. You're locked into the things that are giving you more of that desire, that hedonistic pleasure, right? And if it's not reflective of that, right, it's really easy for you to stay into a tune, and you're not doing anything necessarily different characteristically, right? But you're doing something, you know what I'm saying, that's repetitive. And I think that's just something that's just survival, right? How is it that you could survive with a family structure? Look at like the patriarchs and the matriarchs, right? My homie was talking about this earlier today. He was saying we were talking about the lions, right? And then the lion prize, and then me and Chris talked about it as well. Me, Chris, and Hikma talked about it earlier. And why is it that menopause exists in nature, right? Why is it that we also have not only like the breath of life across the diaspora right now, but more people getting into that? And I think that's like a matter of like the intergenerational thing. We're starting to bleed into more of the understanding of how these dynamics kind of move things around us, right? So it's like social interplay, but you lose that with that root chakra, right? Being so focused in on that. So yeah, when you get that awareness, though, I do think that it's like I say it's an intuition or a sixth sense, because people also really haven't explored the sixth sense. So that could be a possible way to like get into that dynamic scientifically, you know?
Yeah. So part of our sanctuary, we have a quantum occult lab. So I'll be releasing my empirical findings over the next few months, where I'm going to fully launch the lab. and fully launch all of the. It's going to be an online thought community where we just explore all of the different theories and different methodologies that I've discovered over the years, just to start these dope conversations about different ways of looking at occult and mysterious things from a more scientific perspective, so that we can bring them into the science instead of them being pseudo. They can become actual. And so I'm really excited about. I'm passionate about living and studying the whole mechanism of life, including the hidden and more abstract things that we keep ignoring, but they still are present.
Yes, ma'am. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Have you found many others like you?
You, for sure. I have, but a lot of them are fractured. A lot of them are mental institutions. A lot of them are alcoholics and drug addicts, because without something to hold, no framework, no structures, no training, they are misunderstood and a lot of times become misaligned in their understanding of themselves, and therefore they develop a gift, right? They self-train and then they become destructive, or they self-destruct because it's too much, because they're too different and they're being tortured by other human beings because they do not understand what this thing is. They don't even call it a person. I was tortured as a child, tortured all the time because I knew things and I could understand things. Like I said, one of my gifts is I can assess, comprehend, digest, then I can articulate. But this has been that way since 1 years old. So you can imagine my mama, when I could understand, digest what she was doing, and then put it back out to her as words. Wasn't a fun time being me at that time. So that's why I say this work that I'm passionate about this work that I'm doing, because I don't want anyone to suffer like me, because it was no framework. So my whole mission for the rest of my life, I will die for this. I will anchor that sanctuary into physical reality, and there will be multiple iterations of it throughout the world. And we will build the new mystery schools. I will be a global innovator. I will be a known spiritual practitioner and a known occult scientist. Just wait and see.
It's already happened. It's already happened. That's how the universe works. And destiny, right? It's not some. I think people confuse destiny and fate, right? Because you ask somebody about destiny, they're going to tell you it's just, that means that you just set and it's you just meant to do. Yeah. It's kind of being represented, because destiny is a direct thought of your, or direct outcome of your thoughts and actions. That's what destiny is. So you're going to end up exactly where you're supposed to be, which is where you wanted to be, right? So you got to change where you want to be, and that's kind of where the destiny sets in. You're gonna be exactly who you were destined to be, because it's directly who you thought about the most and took action to be the most.
And
It's not
as a
some set in stone
Chicagoan,
thing. You could change it, bro. You could change it.
sure. As a fellow Chicagoan, you know what I'm saying, currently in Chicago, right? Like we definitely have to have that mentality, right? Where you can not only say what you want, but enact it. You know what I'm saying? Like people like,
Better. What you talking about?
yeah,
If you say it, you better back it up.
you get it's nuck if you buck, you know what I'm saying? It's still that way. You feel me? It's forever and always, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like now there's more of a little a room for the finesse, right? More room for the intellectual play, more room for less of the brute force and more of the, all right, let's debate this. Like, you believe this, like you're crazy, I'm crazy. All right, let's have this common ground. All right. And maybe it's a sign of the time, but I definitely think that the work that's already been done, like for everything that you've shared tonight, even, right, that's just a testament to all of the things, like all of the events, right, that had to happen in order to take us to the next level on concurrently. So that for that cycle to repeat, right, like accepting that destiny. In Chicago right now, we still looking for people who are purpose driven, right, but also willing to do some of that.
I'm coming back home. So, and as soon as I touch down to Chicago again, I'm going to invade the consciousness of the people that I love so dearly. Chicago is a city that I love. The city of Chicago. As soon as I'm on the E-way and I see the Sears Tower, I instantly know I'm home. So we have excellence that comes from our place. People do masquerade and they mimic. But I do everything at the highest level. I'm excellence embodied, and I'll continue to say that over and over again. I I go above and beyond, even when not asked. If you go to my websites, I'm the system administrator, just like you are for yours. Everything was ritually done. Every aspect of our site is so harmonized that as soon as you even get in the presence of my products, how I set up my fields, you instantly are inside of my mind because it's a true reflection of my artistic talent combined with my intelligence to deliver systems to people in such a digestible way. I've spent 2 years and I've compiled over 4,000 documents of all of my mind's functions. And I'm now modularizing everything as we speak. So, like I said, if I want to finesse, I could go get a BBL.
Oh, didn't even think about that again. Wow.
If I want to finesse, I'm a woman. So this is the hardest path to take because I'm going to keep getting challenged about, do I actually have this mind? So this is actually me picking the high road, the narrow path, because like I said, I'm a little older, but I got flued out in the 90s and 2000s. I could definitely finesse. So it ain't that deep, you know what I'm saying? This is love because
Yeah, man.
how many
I hate it
people
gets taken as that.
yeah, but no, I mean it's like how many people I literally the last 100 people I trained, I only charged most of them no more than $700 for their entire curriculum, and they were with me for years. And I didn't enrich myself in any way outside of my knowledge and got the fellowship, right? And so even though my house is nice here in Tennessee, I do really do enjoy it. It's really about suffering. I want to help in
Yes.
my portion of human suffering because and for my community, which is the gifted, which is the special, which is the aligned. So there is no mystery schools. They destroyed them all during the 1600s. They looted all the temples. They killed all these people. They went on witch hunts. They got rid of all of the places that
They
were
hid that
for
shit
us.
away.
And then they locked them into different libraries. I want to restore harmonic balance by having a place that embraces the gifted, that celebrates the different, that
Yes.
truly nurtures children from womb to winning. And my name is Daphne, and it's Greek for laurel tree. But if you interpret that into the Hebrew language, I am the living sign of victory. And my name was changed to Daphne at birth. So I went from a servant to victorious from day one. So
That's awesome.
I just, like I said, we gonna make it because I believe in God,
Yeah.
not in the abstract God, but
No,
in
God believes in you. That's how it works.
but
Because we
in
the
source
same.
intelligence, right? And I believe my God is also a scientist just like me.
Absolutely.
So I believe Source is excited about me because, like I said, I get excited since for the last 2 years. There has been not one day I'm not excited to wake up.
Yes.
I'm
And I've had all
running.
kind of reasons to be mad.
I'm waking up and I'm immediately running to my computer like, let's get it. Like, and there's nobody there but me.
Yeah, it's like the
Nobody
sun's not even up.
considerations.
The sun ain't even with me yet. I'm already
So
cracking at it. Like this is
what I,
beautiful. I love it.
so just why I'll say this to you. I am patient zero.
So
I
it's
am
rooted in
patient zero.
so rather than finesse, rooted in the identity of the project. So
Right.
in this world domination aspect, you know what I'm saying? You have the empirical data for yourself. That's a beautiful way to present it. You feel me? I'm with you. Like you already got a supporter here in Chicago. I'm with you. I'm ready to take any study.
Bro, they ain't
No,
no way. Check
what like I
this
said,
out. Like, okay,
because I'm
you know
patient
what
zero.
was this time that coming to
They don't,
Tennessee?
yeah. Well, like I say, I love Eastern Tennessee. I actually drove there recently to go to these underwater caves.
Yeah. You went to what's it called?
It was like a little. I
Sea
forgot the name
something.
of. Yeah, it was. It's a yellow little tunnel you go down.
Sweetwater. It's in Sweetwater, Tennessee. Yeah,
I went
it's
there.
cool. It's like the largest underwater cave.
So beautiful.
Yeah, it's
So
beautiful. Like the largest in the country, I believe.
yeah,
You should go to Ruby Falls too. It's pretty cool. Some dude was just crawling through little caverns in the mountains and discovered this whole underground waterfall.
oh wow. Well, I'm
Yeah,
going
it's
to Fall
beautiful.
Creek Falls right outside of McMinnville next. I want to go forage.
Yeah,
Real
it's
spill.
beautiful out there.
Oh, I
I
love
love it.
nature. I hike at least 5 times a week.
Oh yeah, dude, the whole family. I like when I carry the babies. Well, she's not a baby now; she's like 3. But yeah, I want Sunset Rock. It's a good couple hour like hike for real. It's probably like you got to. It's got signs that tells you like don't go past a certain time at the end of the day because you're not gonna make it back in time. You know, you're
Mhm.
gonna fall off the mountain because it'll be
Well,
dark. I carried the
Nashville.
baby the whole way, but it was so worth it.
Oh,
I got to
absolutely.
hold the little baby on Sunset Rock, like as the sun was setting. It was perfect. Like look like on the top of the Lookout Mountain, just like looking over the whole thing with the baby and the sun setting, and oh yeah, it was a beautiful moment. It was awesome. I wasn't even
Nashville is
tired of
very
it.
beautiful. I really have enjoyed living here. I'm going to enjoy going back home, to be very honest. But I have enjoyed the nature. I never been to Middle Tennessee before I met my husband. So when I first arrived in to BNA and we started to ride, I just was so fascinated with the large hills where it looks
Yeah,
mountainy. So Tennessee is probably one of the most beautiful places I've
it
ever
is. I
lived in.
love it. Yeah,
Um,
I've been all over the country, but for some reason, every time I end up like I got to come back. It's beautiful.
yeah.
And like there's a place up I believe it's close to Virginia or something. Oddsville or Eadsville, Tennessee. That was the most beautiful place. I spent like a cabin with the whole family for like a week. The
Hmm.
cabin was spring fed, so there was like no EMF, no nothing, man. It was beautiful. It was like for like the whole entire when you drive for hours or like just be out for hours, you wouldn't see a single person. There's no planes, nobody's spraying shit in the air. It was just lovely.
Beautiful.
I didn't see a single plane. I was like, this is beautiful. Yeah, and then on coming back, I was just like, oh, I've been wanting to leave ever since. It's like I'm just not. I'm an old soul, I guess. Really, it's,
That's why I
like
had to
I'm
write that
really
down
not
on
with
my
with
iPad
the
so
whole
I can go
modern
visit some
age.
places.
Real spill. Real spill. Colorado was dope, but you know what I'm saying? Like I went to Aspen and you know what I'm saying? I got the whole experience. I was there for like a good week. I went to the Twin Bells, you know what I'm saying? And going up the mountain, there is no guardrail, so it's just rocks along the side. You feel me? You can see everything all the way down, and then it's a beautiful bed of water that's right there too. You feel me? That goes over it, like as a crest over it, and there's a gondola that takes people up there as well. So you can do the hike up there and then hop on the gondola or just take it all the way up there. But when you go in the summer, there's not that much snow, so there's like all types of coyotes, all the types of different animals out. They got black bears, so it's the black bears. They're not as you know what I'm saying, dangerous as the grizzly bears. Grizzly bears 9 times out of 10 they on your case. You feel me? But black bears, you feel me? They're mostly looking for like foraging, so
For
they're trying
example.
to go through the garbage can. You know what
They'd
I'm
be
saying?
good as long as I don't have any cubs.
Yeah, stuff like that. So we were out late at night, a bunch of Chicago kids. Something about Chicago though. We don't really have that many tornadoes. We're not too close to a fault line. You know what I'm saying? Flooding is terrible. Yeah, it gets windy, but you feel me? The
Sweet.
snow. Okay, everybody
Yeah, that's what I
got us.
imagine probably being rough in Chicago is the snow.
I love the snow.
Yeah,
I love it down here
when it hit.
because we got big open fields and we can do all kind of shit. We already got 4-wheel drive. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't worried about the snow. But I imagine being in the city with it because I did go to New York in the snow and it was like totally different than like down south in the snow. It's not like it's wintry wonderland beautiful in New York when it's snowing, you know what I mean, as people think it is.
Hmm.
Like a lot of it's like slushy and it's like, it's just like black slush and stuff. and it's brutal. Like it's super cold up north. Like people down south don't know what cold is, bro. They don't know what cold is. You gotta go. You gotta go like above Kentucky or something before you can really talk about cold.
Yeah.
People down south think it's cold. It ain't cold. Go up north. It's cold.
I would love to start traveling again right now, but with the current state of all of the airplanes and things of the sort, like, if I can drive it, then cool. You know what I'm saying? But I would rather not fly right now. Like,
See, my mind worked the exact opposite. I'm like, I can't drive it yet, so let me learn to fly.
ooh, you said learn to fly.
Yeah,
See,
that's the way I'm. Like I'm terrified of heights, so I go cliff dive.
Well, that's one way to get your intelligence in your body.
learned experience.
I don't like heights though, so I force myself every year to go cliff dive and shit, just to say get over it. I never do, but it's adrenaline rush, I guess. I'm still terrified the first time. I swear, every time I'm looking down and I'm like, okay. And then after like 3 times, then it's just beautiful.
I had a military experience that you would have hated then. When I got my first tour in Iraq, it was in Baghdad. It was 2008. I was leaving IUD Qatar from a forward operating base to my actual assignment. So I was already 30 days late. My sergeant was pissed at me, which wasn't my fault, but whatever. We get to Baghdad. It's night. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. The pilot says, and military C5s, they're gutted. You just up against you in a combat strap up against the wall, all the soldiers in there, and then you have like tanks in the middle. He says he said we have enemy fire on the planes. We have to go engine out, combat landing. Do you notice people turn the engines off and landed in a spiral with no engines, with all that gear and stuff, and didn't tell us until we got to the country? Oh, I was 24 years old.
In a
I could have
spiral?
died. Huh? It's combat
Like,
landing, so they it's called high key. So because I used to be an air traffic controller, so when you have to do
And so they do that on purpose, right? It's
yeah,
like a
so
ploy.
they cut the
Okay.
engines off and they glide down in a pattern.
Huh.
So that they won't get hit by mortar rounds because they have surface to air missiles from
That makes sense because they're going to measure the trajectory of the plane
right.
going, and so
But
that's perfect. That's
but
actually pretty
that was the
smart.
scariest experience because, like I said, I had never experienced. I'm from Chicago now. I'm still from Chicago, and I'm in this plane in Iraq. And this is not. I was like, man, gee, let me up, like I was going off because I was still
I
very young. I was
bet.
24 years old. So this is
Uh,
40 on me. When I was losing it. So we get on the ground, and then we got to run because there's 50 cal bullets flying everywhere with guns, with things. Got to run straight off the tarmac into behind these concrete things. That was the scariest thing because it was 1,000 feet in the air. It had to drop 1,000 feet to land.
What was the landing like?
Now I will say that pilot goes around the whip. Like they definitely deserve an award. It was like a Cadillac landing. He was seasoned. He was, I think he was a
So
colonel.
crazy. Can you imagine that?
It was like
I'd be,
I
oh,
was scared.
you're right. You're right. That would have
But after
been.
that, I never would, because I don't mind heights, but it shook me a little bit. But after that, I was like, I could do anything. I could do
Yeah.
anything. You can't
Yeah.
take me nothing.
Imagine. Yeah. I mean, I was in a plane crash. What? You was in a plane crash, you said? And you're here talking to us on the podcast.
Oh yeah,
Oh, cool. What?
combat landings
A
was
plane
something
crash.
very different. Yeah,
Yeah.
my military time was so interesting. Like that, I think that shaped so much of my intelligence. Because we talk about nature versus nurture. And what's
Mhm.
encoded in your DNA and how environment can activate gene sequences. Well, my father is
Yes.
very intelligent. My grandfather, so I have this node of intelligence that's encoded within my DNA through my paternal line that is extremely precise. And so my military experience, I believe that environment just encoded all of my genetic sequences to activate at its highest level because I had to think outside the box every day when I was in the military, and I was very successful. I won Person of the Year for the Air Force. I got a couple awards. I just love being a soldier because I'm warrior in nature and I love the structure. But it really blew my mind on how far I could think because of the position, the type
Yes.
of military jobs I had. So it helped. It was one of my primary shapers of my consciousness.
Real spill. Real spill.
Yeah, there's something about pushing your body and your mind to the limit and then further. And then you realize, holy shit, that was a false limit. And once you realize that there's literally false limits that you place on yourself and your consciousness and your ability with your mind and your body, you're just like, anything's really possible. Like if I just want it bad enough. It's that simple. It's just like I literally train my body and my mind to do exactly what I want it to do. If I want to kick harder, I just fucking kick every day until it's fucking harder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I want to fucking do a muscle up, I just started hanging fucking, plates and dumbbells and kettlebells around my waist and doing pull-ups. And now a muscle up's nothing. I just walk out of the bar and fucking throw myself up off of it. It's like insane. And I remember trying to first do one, I would struggle like hell. I couldn't even do it. It's crazy. Now I just walk up and just like it ain't nothing because I just decided I wanted to do a muscle up.
Mhm.
It's that simple. It really is. And with the mind, it's even more amazing because, like, if you can imagine it, you can do it pretty much. I know that
Thoughts
sounds
come to
crazy. but it's
No,
true.
no, that's divine mechanics, right? Thoughts come to form. All
That's
thoughts,
how it
whether you
works.
like it or not.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Real spill. I'm from Chicago. I'm hoping not to do no combat landing anytime soon for sure. Appreciate that.
No,
Yeah.
that's right.
I'm a little bit more
Honestly,
confident
though,
if somebody's saying
kind
now,
of
but
would like to experience
yeah.
it. But that's just like the kind of crazy me talking. I really do. Like she said, so spoke on it earlier, like the suffering, the struggle, honestly, from being real, like I crave that shit sometimes because I never came out of one of those situations a worse person.
Yeah, they say when else do you grow, right? Because if you had everything that you ever
That's
wanted,
when it
what would be the point?
happens. Mhm.
Like if you never
And then
had to
like
work for
the
anything
easy
you wanted,
moments are like kind of your reward.
Mhm.
yeah.
It's that polarity,
Yeah, when
right?
you got those peaceful moments, when you got just everything flows and it's just those tranquil like moments in life to where you have extra time to like pay attention to the kids and connect with like your partners and things like that. Those are the rewards, because you got a job to do.
Mm-hmm. Function. Yeah, I
That's
really
it.
enjoyed this conversation with you all. Like I said, I'm so happy that you
Yeah,
are.
honestly, you are just as intelligent as Josh said you are. That's amazing. And like physical and emotional intelligence, and that's a whole another thing.
It's
I
all
bet you're
about
good at every sport too, huh?
basketball. About it.
Yeah, if you're good at basketball, you're good at every sport. I don't care what you say. Like everybody, you know what I'm saying? If you can play
I'm trying.
basketball and be good
I
at
can
it,
play
you
football
can be
too.
good at anything.
I play safety and
Volleyball,
tight end. Football. I can play
yeah.
safety and
See,
tight end.
Right
let me
way,
see.
right
Is
way.
there a sport that I don't play that am I not good at a sport? There's one. There was one.
I'm a swimmer.
You know what I
What
want to
was it?
play?
Oh,
Lacrosse.
I want to
Interesting.
play it. Have you played it?
No, when I lived in
I
West,
have. It is hard.
I
It is
want
really
to try
hard to
it.
catch that little thing going fast with the bro.
I want to try it one
But
day.
I love slinging it when you like. I couldn't imagine being a goalie though, because that thing's like coming at you. It's coming at you hard, and I don't think I could
That's how I feel
catch it.
about hockey with them
Well, no, I
pucks.
couldn't
You
now,
can't
but I
even be
would be able
following
to.
them sometimes. The speed of the puck, like if it's like a boat, like I think they say like 90
Mhm.
miles an hour, like And I was watching the history of hockey. Another rabbit hole I went down. They were talking about what it was like before the mask. My goodness. But
Death.
yeah,
I've been hit with a hockey puck.
really,
It
really had
sucks bad.
conversation.
It
Yeah,
sucks really
yeah,
bad.
hockey puck to the
Yeah.
face.
Listen.
No,
I'm a
no. Thank
Blackhawk
God it wasn't in the
fan.
face.
Won't play hockey at all. Nope. I love it. I love
Yeah,
Chicago
we
Blackhawks.
played street hockey though. We didn't have like an ice rink, so we had like rollerblades. We played
I,
street hockey on the concrete,
like
like gladiators.
I will go to a Blackhawks game. That's my favorite hockey team. Period. I will go all day long. But no, no, no. I don't like ice skates at all. I can ice.
I love them. I hey, do you think that I think they're way easier than rollerblades
They are.
and skates.
But see, being from Chicago and being a little kid, biting that ice every year when it first come, because it's so cold outside, I don't want to. That even the possibility of me hitting that ice is
I
not.
hit it one time and I decided never to do it again because it hurt
You know,
and
in
it was
Chicago,
bad too. It got my elbow and my
when I was
knee at the
little,
same.
I slid into the end of the garbage can, and like so taking out the garbage, like the alley is like right, and it's all gravel and it's little potholes and stuff like that. So they pulled up with water, and there's like a layer of black ice,
You can't
right?
see it.
Ooh,
As soon as I slipped, I just started sliding at speed
so
to the
over
middle
with.
point of the edge of the garbage can, and it pinched the nerve in my spine for like 22 days. Couldn't walk or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
I've hit the ice a lot of times as a little kid. Because you got to think, I'm not talking about as an adult. When you're a little kid in Chicago, you don't, and the snow is under, you don't even know if the ice is there. You're just walking and boom.
Yeah.
I can't, I'm traumatized. I'm not afraid of anything. I don't like ice like that. I love snow. Man, I've hit the ice probably hundreds of times because I like to play. So I'm always running around. Boom,
Yeah, me too.
boom. Nah.
If I
Mm-mm.
gotta
But,
love it, man.
Real spill,
Yeah.
real spill.
It's
The
been a
good
beautiful
old
episode,
sultry.
man. I love it.
Yeah, you go. I really appreciate the talk this evening.
Mhm.
This is Lifestyle Libraries, you feel me? And we hope to
Yes.
have another conversation with you feel me? I hope to have another conversation in the near
Hope
future,
to.
actually.
No, we
Yeah.
speaking that shit into existence. It
We
is
shall.
definitely going down. It can't nothing stop it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said,
Right.
I really enjoyed my time. Like I said, I feel welcome, and like I said, I definitely feel the resonance between you too. Like I said, every single endeavor, I'm so proud of the type of men that you are. I don't know you very well, but from what I see signaling from your fields, man, God
Thank
bless
you.
you. God bless your work. God bless your heart. God bless every aspect of your whole being. And I pray that everything you've done is done with swiftness and it manifests in real time as quickly as it possibly can physically.
It will as long as we keep networking with people like you guys, man. That's all it takes.
For
That's
sure.
all it takes. There's plenty of good people out there trying to do the right thing.
Hmm.
A lot of them just scared to speak up, so they need somebody like us to do it for them.
Yeah,
I ain't got
yeah.
no problem speaking up. Hell, I can't be quiet anyway.
Looking for that purpose. How much better can better be without a frame of reference?
Absolutely.
That's it. That's it.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
change your perspective, or at least, you know, think outside the box a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to totally be somebody else, but at least imagine yourself in a similar situation. It's that easy.
Hmm.
Sure. Oh, shout out Think Outside the Block, 64th and Ogden.
Ooh,
Yeah. Plug,
I
plug,
like that.
plug, yeah.
Oh, what is it? Is that somebody already got that, or do you just come up with that?
Oh no! It's a nonprofit organization called Think Outside the Block. Yeah. They do a lot of things.
What?
I
That's
actually
dope. I love the
participated in
name.
their
We gotta.
Pride and
You
Peace.
you got some partnerships with them already?
Oh man, we got so much in the works, man. I have to show
Cool.
you the whole
We're
notebook.
speaking. We're speaking private on those.
Man,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's a notebook. We got so many notebooks to go through and put together. It's gonna be a heck of a journey, man. I'm just looking forward to building with like minds, and we've been building so long.
Yes.
It's been a few months with Chris. You feel me? We're coming up on almost 2 years now. I think like it's been creeping along. You feel me? But it's kind of like a fellowship. It's a kinship. We just been naturally vibing off of that energy and trusting in that, right? And that if it's just a reaffirmation, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate the
Yeah.
prayers, and it's likewise. I appreciate it all the time.
Oh, you're always gonna be
I
in my
do want to
presence.
say
Always.
that it was very interesting getting a female perspective on male issues, right? And coming from someone that like you could, if she's been through 15 years in the military, then you know that she's went through all the physical training drills. You know that she's been right there where you fucking been. If you're a man, bro, she's been there. She could do the push-ups, she could do the pull-ups, she could fucking carry a boat and all that shit, right? So there's a level of respect there. And for you, like most women that are like into physical sports or athletic and shit like that, they're more masculine, you know what I'm saying? So for you to still like be able to look at shit from a female perspective or a feminine perspective, but also like in a non-toxic masculine way, that's pretty dope.
All about
That's
balance.
pretty cool. Yeah,
For sure.
that's pretty cool actually. Because she hit it spot on when she was like, making references. I was like, yeah, that's a dude. Like, and yeah,
Yeah, y'all
that's
gonna have
what
to
we would
rewind
do.
this video on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, really. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go back and
what-
watch it. Yeah, because I was like, man, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's like a bro. You know what I'm saying? That like, but it's a chick that would tell you like the truth. You know what I mean?
Well, like I said, I was gifted with divine mind,
Yeah, that's
just
awesome.
like the
I
man
think
on the
like
planet.
that too. Honestly, like I can really put myself in like someone else's like place. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess it may be astral project or whatever.
Hmm.
I can take myself out of myself and like be them and like look back at me and like how I would want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, does
Hmm.
that make sense?
Oh yeah, like I
I'm sure
said,
it does.
multidimensional fractal consciousness from the unified field. That's what the
Yeah,
physics would say, right? But you just going into somebody else's being and accessing their node, their data, and swapping. It's
yeah.
they have a bunch of different, like I said, my favorite physicist, and I've been reading a book called Q is for quantum.
Mm,
These
yes,
sciences and these different things, they all are anchored into reality. We just have to piece them together with physical life so that you can see how
yeah.
the mechanics behind life. That's why I
Yes,
like the
that's
Kabbalah.
a ooh. Actually,
That's
it's an interesting thing. Maybe because like most people that study quantum physics and shit, they think it's all like confusing and all like everywhere. Like it's not. It's like a puzzle kind of. It's
if they study the Kabbalah and they study Jewish mysticism, it's 100%
yeah, yeah. Okay, that is a leg up, really.
right. It's that. So that's what I said. So as a master Kabbalist, I
That's like
offer
predating like the switch.
right. So I offer that knowledge to people and teaching them how to actually get that interpretation in their own life. I can bring it to them in a simple form through a mythic storytelling, and we can frame things in ways where people understand how divine mechanics work in their own life.
Yeah.
So
You know what? That could be the reason because I studied all of that in my youth, like just because I've always kind of been a seeker of knowledge.
mhm,
And so I read all of, I read the Torah, the Quran, the Bible,
mhm.
of course. Like I read it like 3 times, and I just studied even the I don't know I like butcher the Bhagavad Gita, I believe is how you
Mhm.
say
Yeah,
it. It's like,
mhm.
yeah, did I say it right? Because
Oh yeah,
I
I
was
mean,
talking to
it's
the
it's
dude
it's
at
it's
the
it's,
store.
it's resonance, right? Like I said, we speak
Yeah,
English, so English speakers we don't have that same roll of the tongue as every other language.
yeah.
So I
I
don't
try
say
like
every
hell though.
word correctly. And one thing I said, we gotta start. Humans want to categorize and quantify everything, right? You know what it
Mm.
means, right? So that's more important than saying it
It is.
correctly,
It really is. Like, is it resonating?
right?
If it is, then all right, cool. Yeah,
But
I think those technicalities can also be put in place to like cause confusion and shit too. Then,
mhm.
right? Because it is all ultimately spelling. You spell a word. Come on,
But
man. That's
can
pretty
you feel
simple.
it? Does it
What do you
have
think you're
weight?
doing when you put them together and you say them in a bunch of shit? You're spelling and you're putting words. Yeah, casting spells, bro. Is what you're doing. You're casting spells.
Right.
You don't even know it, especially in law. Like legalese is a real thing that screws people over on a daily basis. And it's just because you think you know a word that you don't know. It's
Alignment
pretty
versus
sad, but it's
discipline.
very true. And that's the difference is people that become aware and people that just say, oh, well, I think I know what that is. I'm going to keep it moving. Well,
Mhm.
then I wouldn't think on anything very serious. You know what I'm saying? I would try my best to know. And the only way you're going to know is if you get healthy, get your mind right, and start like focusing and paying attention on shit that matters. You're not going to get there eating processed food, getting fat, and watching like Real Housewives of Atlanta or
No
whatever
shade.
people watch.
Like,
I
no
don't know what
shade.
people watch. I just do something out there. Really, I don't watch TV. So, is that even a thing now? Do they still watch that? Does it still come on?
It's still in, I think it's still in
I just know they
syndication.
watched it in prison. They love that show.
I have not watched television in
I
15
know
years.
that's what I'm saying. I couldn't tell you what a new like. I watch a movie now and I'm like dissecting that shit for like the codes and the messages of like oh well this is what's about to happen. You know what I mean?
I struggle with television because it's so poorly
Ah,
written now.
I hate it, bro. I don't even like social media.
Yeah.
If
So
I'm really telling the truth, I don't. But it is like it's a good tool to spread positivity and like get like your purpose out there, especially if you're trying to help some people. I think that's the main thing here. This has been a beautiful episode. The kids are literally still upstairs running around. I can hear them stomping. So we're probably gonna like wrestle and eat some cereal. But
we're
only
going to get into prayer. So
yes. No, I'm gonna go make some tea definitely, and then I'm gonna go play with the kids.
into prayer. So
You guys
Saturday
have a good
nights,
night.
we our sanctuary observes the Sabbath. So I
Yes.
haven't been working all day, so I'm getting ready to get back in the lab and start doing system administrative tasks. So
Yeah, that's the boring part, but we got to do it.
hey,
Do you got a schedule for that? Because I don't.
well,
I just let it.
I let it flow.
I just wake up when I wake up. I go to sleep when I go to sleep. I got like a natural circadian rhythm, and I just follow that. You know what? It actually helps having business partners that are in different time zones and in different countries, because everybody else seems like it's such a struggle to make it to all these different meetings and to correlate the times. I never pay attention to time because I just really do me, and it's so easy. It's just like, okay, we're going to set for the. It's like my mind just automatically knows that okay, he's talking about Central Time, his time. So I don't even. It's like I just set my time to his time, like by the sun or some shit. It's like I just know. It's so weird when you stop like being held down by like all these constructs, like just how your body and your mind will just go where it needs to go.
Yeah, I have a similar
Let it
system.
go.
Like I said, I've been a priest full time since 2017. So I got a force versus flow. So some days I feel force. And so like I said, my
Yeah.
elemental mastery course is I started it first. I did the full thing first. So I know my elements, I know my calendar. Women actually have a second rhythm called the infram rhythm, which is in alignment with Gaia's energy. So I use my hormonal
Mm.
cycles to tell me what I'm going to do throughout the month.
See, I
And
got the
so
leg up with that. I
so
get to talk
depending on where,
Earth.
yeah. So depending on where I'm at in my hormonal cycle is depending on how I work that week. When I'm
I
in
got to
the,
talk through the animals and trees. I don't get to
yeah.
talk directly to those. That's
Hmm.
awesome.
So hopefully we things get done when they get done, and
It's going to
yeah,
get done when it's supposed to get
yeah,
done.
it's
I
gonna get
think
done.
that's the thing I'm realizing. Stop trying to control everything as much and just kind of direct it. There's a much better outcome when you just direct things, but let them kind of go with their natural state. Because if you're trying to control everything, it's not going to work. The moment the thing that's being controlled realizes it's being controlled, it's a wrap. It's going to rebel every time. You back a dog into a corner, that motherfucker's going to bite you. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's like being oppressed, it's natural to fight back. Like even the weak ones will fight back at a point.
Hmm.
So yeah, you gotta direct things and have good intention, and it's gonna go. It's gonna work out, and you're gonna make it.
Amen.
Amen.
This was great. This was great. Hey Dav, you want to share a little bit about the 30-day metaphysical fast?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Plug everything for sure.
So Celestial Sing Sanctuary, we have a metaphysical Daniel fast. So again, I'm the author of the book Bible Decoded. So from my metaphysical studies of the Bible through my Kabbalistic understanding and the other systems, I developed a fast that is an energetic reset. Each week takes you through a 10 fruit and vegetable combinations that perform a detox, deep organ reset, cellular hydration, and then regeneration cycle each time you perform our reset. It's absolutely free to anybody who frequents our site. So if you just go to celestialsprings.org, you can scroll down and then there's a link to the Google Drive. It's an ebook, and there's an ebook for you for free, and it has a shopping list. It has a Bible study, a metaphysical Bible study. It has a breath work sequence. It has body movement recommendations, and it also has binaural beats for you. So it's a fully comprehensive energetic fast for you to start to practice a little bit of spiritual hygiene and start to reset your mind so you can receive any information at all. So this is not just for spiritual. It can help you to align with goals, dreams, and things that you want to do because you're performing a reset based on something that's ancient and proven.
Sign me up. I love it. I'm all about that. That sounds amazing. Yeah. I think that'll be beneficial for anybody. Like
Anybody.
anybody, man. Get your energy right. Get rid of some parasites.
Oh yeah.
Change your life, man. I promise you. It will change your life. I think it all starts with health. And if you're trying to get to success, if you're trying to get to wealth, you're trying whatever it is you're trying to get to, if you'll get your shit right, like with your mind and your body, everything else will be so much easier. Really. Like if you're poisoning yourself, it's gonna be a lot harder to get some shit done. And it's
Yeah.
just people just don't realize that's what they're doing, you know. Just as simple as like scanning some, like just turn the box over, and if you can't pronounce the ingredients,
Don't eat it.
just don't get it. Just don't get it. If you can't look at something and say, "Oh, I know what that is," oh, that's corn,
Right.
or that's spinach, like just don't get it. It's that simple.
Whole food, heavy plant-based diets always,
Yes, yeah, you
always
got to go
better.
plant-based mostly.
Yeah.
If you
Whole-
do eat meat, let it be clean, kosher.
yeah.
Try to do
Alignment.
turkey instead of chicken because it's not regulated as much by the FDA, so there's not as many
Hormones.
antibiotics. And scan it. Just scan it. There's a Yuka app. It's beautiful. It's YUKA. Just get that app, scan it, everything. It'll tell you every additive, the risk it has, like what it'll do, what give you a healthy alternative. It's beautiful. It gives everything like a rating. So there's no excuse really. And that simple. That's all it took for me. Because when I started scanning the shit that I was about to feed to my babies, and I was like, wait a minute. Oh, it says here that this is going to give my baby breast cancer. Hell no. You know, no, no, I'm not giving my baby cancer. That's crazy.
Right.
These people don't know they're doing that. You're nuking food and then eating it. What are you thinking? Would you go stand there when they drop a nuke and just wait? No. So why would you cook food with a microwave that's full of radiation? That's just insane. And then you eat it, you think there's no transfer of that radiation to you? That's insane. But people eat everything, TV dinners, microwaves.
I don't own one.
Like
I
they would literally go buy organic stuff and put it in a microwave. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Wow.
Well, a good
It's like a
alternative.
disconnect from everything that makes sense.
Well, Chris, a good alternative to a microwave is a conventional convection oven. Back in the day, they
Yes,
used
it
to have
is.
they used to have the little countertop little toaster ovens, but they have like the little doors. So if a
It's
conventional oven,
beautiful.
those use conventional they're like conventional heating mechanisms like an oven,
And it just
but
like
it's
circulates together.
right. And so
It's beautiful.
I apologize, it's a little late. Those things are not as harmful as using microwave technology. I haven't owned one in quite some time, but and even your air fryer, if you choose the air fryer, you need a glass one because the regular ones
Yeah.
have lead at the bottom. So it's just having knowledge, comprehending what this means for you, and then
Mhm.
you acting on that knowledge. Because I just told someone this yesterday. You can't say you know something until you can act on it, so you can put it
That's
in
it.
practice. So it's just knowledge until you put it into practice, then you know it.
And
So
then it's power.
right. And so
That's right.
just learn new things, like I said, just one thing at a time because things are expensive, right? So that toaster oven at Walmart's like 20, $30, right? Your microwave is faster, but it's not healthy. So once you see the benefit and your food's gonna taste better if you use that kind of little toaster oven. So
Yeah,
it's just making small changes over time that comes up with big gains.
it does. And then you actually realize that like it's not really that much more money to eat healthy. You actually get a lot more benefit. And then one good thing about getting your diet right is you don't eat as much. People think that you have to just, that the average American eats 12 times the portion size, 12 times that's insane. It's like I'm like 180 pounds. Like I have like no body fat. And I don't eat during the day at all. Like like I fast a lot, but it's beneficial. Like that's what you should be doing. You know, after 3 days of fasting, your body will actually produce HGH. Like it will literally start to produce it. And then you can eat and pack on the protein and you can like increase muscle gains like insanely fast. And then you get all the benefits of being fasted for like, you know, over 72 hours where it'll actually start to eat the cancerous causing mutations in the cells and all. It's going to eat all that bullshit first. And then, you know, if you go too long without the food, then you're going to start eating muscle, right? You don't want to ever get to that point. But when you actually fast for up to 72 hours, the body will start to produce the human growth hormone it's to sustain muscle that you've already got, right? And then you can, you know, eat, you know, a lot of protein and adequate nutrients and vitamins and minerals and all that. And you can actually stay lean as hell and really boost your muscle gains. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it's like there's more benefits to the fasting than muscle gains. Let's just say that it definitely produces growth and cognitive abilities and stuff. Directly related to everything I've ever done. Amazing. Health and fitness for sure. I'm like infatuated with it. It's beautiful. I'll do this till I die or until I can't anymore, you know? All right. It's been beautiful. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. I'm so glad you guys came out. This was amazing. We definitely got to link up and change the world.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I enjoyed my time. You all have a great evening.
Yes, thank you. Have
Thank
a
you.
great evening. Bye for now.